October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and today a powerful statement is being made as 1,000 are expected to gather at Iolani Palace for the 30th Annual Men's March Against Violence. Our Cynthia Yip joins us live from Iolani Palace with more on how the movement is unifying the community with this year's theme, Lead with Aloha. Cynthia, good morning.
Good morning, Leah. That's right. In fact, those who have been impacted by domestic violence are going to be sharing their stories and how that impacted their lives, plus also what can be done to heal. So the Domestic Violence Action Center organized this march. Now, according to the Asian Pacific Agents of Change Summit, 60 to 80% of women and girls in the Pacific experience physical and or sexual violence in their lifetimes. And with me is Kaleo Baginsky, whose sister was a victim of domestic violence. So good morning. So if you could share with us, I know this is such a horrible story. So she actually passed away from domestic violence. So if you can share a little about that and why you're so steadfast against, fighting for women who've been experienced this.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me. My sister, Rosa, was a victim of domestic violence. For me, it was really quite shocking because I once was a victim advocate at the prosecuting attorney's office working with domestic violence victims. And it just goes to show you that you really don't know who's being hurt. And so there was a lot of healing that had to go on. It's a lifelong road that I'm on, actually. And one of the most impactful things that I can recall from that moment was, all of the community rallying around my family. And particularly, it was more impactful when I saw men, because for a long time I saw, men as perpetrators. And when they came together to really aloha our family, it made me feel hopeful. So if I were to say that the one thing that you want to really try to do in mitigating domestic violence in the future is really starting young, maybe getting into the schools at the children at a very young age, talking to them about what a healthy family life looks like, because they are usually the first signs of what's going on in the home, and maybe working with young children to tell them, what's okay and what's not, to stop the cycle early on. Organizations like the DVAC have so many programs and stuff like that, so you can contact them if, and reach out to them. But that's where I really feel like our efforts should be honed in on the youth.
Well, thank you. Mahalo for sharing your story, of course, and our prayers are with your family. I know that this is also continual healing. And coming up at 6:30, we're going to talk with a person who is a distinguished citizen for DVAC, and we'll have more from Iolani Palace reporting live. Cynthia Yip, Island News.